Disputes between landlords and tenants are all too common. Today, Lawrence and Kev are about to enforce a writ in a case where a disagreement over a property ended up being decided by the courts.
10 o'clock in the morning, Romford we're heading to. We're going to go and find Dr. Sumyo Gorai.
Dr. Gorai was taken to court by a former tenant who claims they were unfairly evicted from the property.
And according to the information we have, he proceeded to rent the property out to someone else with all our clients' property and personal belongings still in there.
The tenant claims they never got their stuff back and took the case to court to recover their costs. They won a default judgment in their favour for £5,000, some of which has now been paid. But Kev and Lawrence are here for the rest.
He owes £1,670.
The sheriffs are arriving at what they believe is Dr. Gorai's home address, and they've spotted a black BMW they think is his.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
The sheriffs have already done checks on a licence plate number they've been supplied to confirm the BMW was free from finance and so could be removed. But there's a problem.
They've got it slightly wrong.
We were given the wrong number, were we?
One of the digits is different from what the sheriffs have been told.
Right, so we haven't got a result on it then, have we?
That means they don't know whether this car is clear of finance after all. Lawrence heads to the house to see if the doctor is home. They try the bell, but there's no answer. Lawrence looks for any sign of life. Anything in the letterbox that could confirm that he lives here.
There we go, there's one for him.
It's addressed here, is it?
And another one. And another one. And another one. Yeah.
So the sheriffs are in the right place. But is the debtor here today? With barbed wire on top of the wall, they won't be climbing over. While Lawrence takes a closer look at the car, Kev tries the neighbours.
I wonder if you could help me. Do you know if it's Dr. Gorai living next door?
But they don't seem to know.
All right, no worries.
It looks like this could be a wasted trip.
Just had to leave paperwork. It's unfortunate that we were given the wrong registration for the vehicle. It wouldn't have mattered whether they were in or not. We'd have taken the car. So we'll have to hope now that either he gets in touch and pays, or the car's still here when we come back if he doesn't get in touch.
Hold up.
But I have my suspicions about that.
But just as hope of getting the debt paid is fading, a car pulls into the drive. It's Dr. Gorai. Once he's stepped out of the car, Lawrence takes the opportunity to acquire his car keys. It won't be worth as much as the BMW, but it's something.
My name's Mr. Grix, my colleague and I are enforcement agents. We're here today with a High Court writ. The total outstanding is £1,670.16.
Yep.
We're ordered here today by the High Court to take control of goods to clear that debt,
Or we can,
unless you pay in full.
Yeah, I can pay in full. If you give me an account detail, I will transfer it straight away.
OK.
Dr. Gorai has immediately offered to settle the bill. So why didn't he pay earlier?
Your letters don't give us any account details.
No, but it gives you details of how you can get in touch with us to make the payment, doesn't it?
But without account details, how can I make a payment?
Right, well, that's something you need to take up with the Ministry of Justice, sir, because the forms are prescribed forms by the Ministry of Justice. Yeah.
And Lawrence is happy to provide all the details Dr. Gorai needs.
It's that sort code, that account number. It needs to be done as an immediate payment. If you do that, then I'll check with my office, and providing the money's gone into the account, we'll issue you a receipt. You can have your keys back and we'll be on our way.
Without my keys, I can't get into my property.
That's a car key, sir.
My house key is in the boot of the car.
Lawrence doesn't want to give the car keys back, but opens the boot for him. Dr. Gorai unlocks the house and starts to get some things from the car. But he's left the front door open, so Kev steps in, closely followed by Lawrence.
Would you wait outside?
No, my colleague's already inside, sir. We'll come in while you make the payment.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that what you...
The sheriffs are legally allowed to walk through an open door into a residential premises. Once inside, they can't be told to leave. But 10 minutes later, the sheriffs are back out of their own accord, with their every move filmed by the debtor, who's also willing to volunteer his side of the story.
This was regarding a tenant of mine who stayed in my property for 7 months without paying rent, trashed my property, kept a snake in the property, kept rats in the property, completely trashed my garden.
Dr. Garai claims the tenants left of their own accord when he chased them for the rent.
Then I used my keys to get into the property, and there were some goods left in the property. When we changed the locks for the front door, they then went to the court and tried to get money back for the £5,000 of goods that they thought that I had stolen from them, which we had kept for them for some time, but they didn't come to collect it. And when they didn't come to collect it, we had to dispose of goods because we didn't want to touch their goods.
But the court ruled in the tenants' favour and ordered Dr. Garai to pay them £5,000, which he hasn't done. Dr. Garai admits he received a demand for payment from the sheriffs, but didn't think he'd been given enough information.
There was no bank account, there was no address to where the payment had to be made, there was just a telephone number, and our experience of telephone numbers is very bad, as he gave me the details today, and I paid within 10 minutes.
It's a much better outcome than the sheriffs anticipated.
That went very well. We were basically about to leave because we couldn't get an answer, but he did pay fairly quickly. He was a bit awkward, as some people tend to be. We showed him ID when he pulled up on his driveway, but then he was wanting to see it again. I didn't want to sign the receipt either. It doesn't matter to us, we've got the payment. So, job done.
And that means the tenant whose property went missing will get the money the court said they were owed.